Here we are. Good morning. And comments video today is the 30th of October, 2024. One more day to Halloween. One more day to the end of October. And then we're in November, the month I get to go to quartzsite. I'm so excited about that. It is 6:20 a.m. And let's see, it's 45 degrees outside. A little bit of chill. And it's way over 70 in here. It feels just wonderful. Dottie's back there on the bed. George is down drinking water. I don't think you can see George. Can you? Yeah, you can. There's George. Hey, George. All right, so we have something unusual happened in the past 24 hours here on the channel. I'm going to talk about a video I released yesterday. But first, I'm going to give you some context. I do every day. I do a positive news video, the comments video, and one regular video. And the last yesterday, the numbers on that was it was yesterday. Excuse me, day before yesterday, because yesterday contains the video I'm going to talk about today. Amazing 14-year-old scientist. That's the positive news video. They got 75 views. Okay. The comment video got 122 views. And the regular video, A Day in My RV Nomad Life, got 577 views. And that's usual. I mean, the positive news and the comments video are highly specialized. Not that many people watch them. Not that many people are interested, especially the positive news video, because it's a departure from my RV content, so it doesn't do well. But I do it because it makes me feel good, and the few people that watch it really like it. I'm getting off topic, though. 577 views for one of my staple videos. This time of year, I'm pretty happy. If I see over 500 views on a video, I'm very happy. I'm satisfied, and I'm like, it'd be good, because there are other ones in previous days that didn't do as well. And typically, the average has been far less than that. My life. Biggest secrets exposed, answering all your questions, 374. Let's see, combating pain on the road, talking about getting chronic pain, getting treatment on the road, 240 views. Understanding EMS response, 440 views. Preferred RV resort, a video and an interview on them, 489. So it gives you a little bit of a flavor for what the typical volume is, and how, hey, 500, when I'm in quartzsite videos generally do double that, because people are really focused on this niche, and I get a lot of views. That's just it. So when I hit, I'll expect, what I'm going to be looking for is about 1,000 views per video when I'm in quartzsite for like 3.5 months. And then I expect to go back down to the 500. However, this is going to be a long video, because there are a ton of comments, because I wasn't sure what to do for a video yesterday, and I was getting ready to go for a walk. I said, well, I'll film the walk, and let's come up with a topic. And suddenly what popped into my head was, I've done a few quartzsite videos for newcomers, a real one targeted at new people that are coming out for the first time, explaining how to find a place to camp and stuff. And then I realized I mentioned something briefly, but really not enough. I had this picture in my head of a brand new person getting up the courage, like I did years ago, to come out for the first time and decide, I'm gonna camp in the desert. And they turn off into, like, they pay for their permit, the LTVA, and they're driving and looking for a place to camp, and they're following these makeshift roads, and sure enough, one goes through a dip in a wash, and they just think, well, if it's the road, it must be okay. And it ends up not being okay, and they get caught in that wash. And that can damage your vehicle. It can cost money to get out if you can't find someone to pull you out, or it can be a terrible thing. And so I said, I need to make a video really targeting those brand new people coming out and making sure they understand what washes are and the precautions that you need to take before you try to drive through one of them and make the good decision that, hey, I can't get through this one. Let's find a flatter one. Let's find one that's more passable. So I talked about that. And it was about a 20-minute video. And as of right now, I got to refresh it. 4,426 views. So 10 times what I've decently be getting this day. 10 times the volume. So we have a lot of comments to go through. And forgive me, I haven't read these comments yet, so I'm going to be reading them really for the first time as we go through these. So I know people with big channels would go, 4,000 views, you think that's a lot? I mean, you know, there are people, the channels that I watch get hundreds of thousands of views, sometimes a million views. So, but for me, it's a big deal. It's huge. All right. So we're going to start with, and it's not Ken Gray. You see, if you watch my comments and listen to these videos, you hear that name a lot because he's there. He's usually the first one. And stunning kindness was a really one where you can see the video. It's called Stunning Kindness. It's number 243 on the Positive News video. And you can see me get a little choked up trying to report this. And it's such a simple thing. It's about a bus driver in Minneapolis that saw a homeless woman walking in the street, in a busy street, and she seemed to be invisible to everyone. So she stopped the bus, opened the door next to the woman. The woman clearly was homeless, and she beckoned the woman to come in the bus, and she comes up the stairs in the bus, and the driver sees this woman's barefoot. It's hot. It's summer. She's walking around barefoot in the concrete jungle. And the woman walks by her and sits on a seat, and you can kind of see the guy next to her kind of go, oh. He kind of reaches up in a ways because she probably looks kind of scary, right? And what does this bus driver do? And we're able to see this because there's a security camera that the agency that runs the bus service reviewed this footage and thought, what did I just see? That's how she got the recognition, not because she was like promoting herself. Someone saw the footage. What did she do? She took her shoes off and she just handed them to the woman. And the woman put the shoes on her feet and walked down the stairs and out the door and down the street. Boy, did that get to me. But anyway, Ken Gray says, kindness and compassionate work, very moving. And Renee, I think Roscoe says, it's a wonderful example of caring about others and being kind. Thanks for sharing this. And actually, she was the first one. I almost missed her comment. So I'll refer to that as the shoes video if we have more comments on that. Gold Race on the comments video. I really enjoy watching your videos. I like following along while drinking my coffee. Well, I'm drinking my coffee too. You have a great life, and a lot of people would love to live that way. I subscribed to your channel about a month ago after watching 2 of your videos. Well, good health to you, sir, and keep them coming. Roger from Ohio. Well, thank you, Roger. Nice of you to say. I'm glad to hear that. Dan Hardesty on the comments video said, my 3,000 watt Renogy inverter would not power my microwave or my Keurig. I found out my wire was too small. Feeding from the battery, I went from a number 10 to a number 1. It worked great. The lower you get on wiring, the bigger it gets. 10, you know, I use 10 for like solar panels and stuff. And 1 is like a big, thick, 1 is as thick as you can get. And what he's talking about is me referring to the inverter troubleshooting video that I had. Now has thousands of views after a couple of years. Um, and in my case, it was a cheap breaker switch in the circuit that was restricting the flow of electricity through it, and I replaced that and worked. But the first thing I checked was what he checked was, do I have big enough wiring? Right? Because if your wiring is too small, that in itself will restrict the flow of electricity, and you'll get a low voltage error at your inverter, and it won't invert properly. So that's what Dan's talking about. Tommy on the comments video. I like these videos. I don't always have time to read all the comments, but I listen to your comments while Journey and I, Journey's Tommy's dog, walk our 7 miles in the morning. Tommy said, what a beautiful, kind thing she did for that lady, and that's on the shoe video. Ken Gray, I will definitely buy the pesticide scanner when it comes out. That's the positive news about the 14-year-old scientist that's the positive news of the day before. And that was this 14-year-old invented this device that you can scan fruit and it detects the pesticides. So even after you wash it, you can scan it and like, oh, there's still pesticides. Let's wash it more. And EPH says, what does an inverter actually do? I have an inverter button on my switch panel on my Class A, but I haven't attempted to use it. That's a basic question that, once you're into this and you understand everything about the basics of RV life, that's a pretty fundamental question. But I recall when I bought my first trailer, and I'm not hooked up to electricity, but I have a battery, and I couldn't understand why nothing would work when I plugged it in. And I think I'm a pretty smart, educated man, and I had no clue. I didn't understand. And so it's a really good question, and I'm glad it was asked here. And my answer was, it takes 12-volt battery DC power and converts it to 120-volt AC power so you can plug in appliances when you're not hooked up to shore power. Really, every trailer RV comes with a 12-volt power source, the same kind of size battery you have in your car. And like in your car, hey, I can plug stuff in my car, but only through like the cigarette lighter and USB ports. Unless you have a super fancy like pickup truck with an inverter built in, that's a whole separate thing. There's no place you can plug in like an appliance in your car. And the RV is exactly the same way. It's a vehicle. It's got power, but it's 12-volt power. And they say, but there are plugs in my RV. Well, that is generally designed for when you plug your whole unit into a receptacle at an RV park. It energizes all those outlets and your microwave and your air conditioner. It sends 120-volt AC alternating current power into those circuits, and you're able to plug stuff in and run your AC. Now, the way you make that happen when you're not plugged in is you have your battery, and if you have one regular 12-volt battery, you're going to be able to do this for about 2 minutes, and then you're going to run out of battery because this takes a lot of juice. So people that do this like me have like a bank of batteries. I have 600 amp hours. It's like 6 of those 12-volt batteries. And so I have a device called an inverter, like you do in your Class A, because you have a switch that says inverter, and wires come from the 12-volt battery to this inverter, and the inverter is able to say, hey, I'm getting 12-volt DC power in here, and I have electronics that are actually gonna make that into, it's gonna take the DC power and change it electronically to AC power and step up the voltage to 120. And then generally on this inverter, there's receptacles just like in your wall. I mean, like mine's hardwired, but the back of my inverter, I have my Starlink, the 120 volt plug, I have it plugged into the back of my inverter because there are two outlets there. And that means I can plug stuff in. And the other thing I do is instead of plugging my rig into a pedestal in an RV park, I'm out in the desert, I take that same plug with an adapter, I plug it into that inverter, and that 120 volt power goes into my whole rig, including my AC and everything. So that's what an inverter is. So basically what it means is if you're not plugged in, and I'm talking to you, the commenter, you have your Class A, and if you are not plugged in somewhere and you turn that switch on, they're probably not, it probably doesn't energize all the outlets. Usually they target particular outlets, and you'll need to find out which outlets become energized when you turn on the inverter. I mean, it could be all of them, but often when these are factory installed, they'll have an inverter that's going to energize just like one circuit or something instead of all of them. But you got to find out when you turn it on what outlets become hot. And I guess you could use lamps or something to plug it in to see, which ones come on. But that's what it does. And if you don't have a lot of battery, then that's not going to last very long. So just understand that. And she has another comment. Thank you, Rob. That was definitely helpful on the same comment video. And she has another one on the day in my nomad life. How do you clean your tanks? I've gotten recommendations for bleach sanitizing. My gray tank definitely smells equally to the black. I suspect previous owners didn't clean very often. I plan to clean the tanks next time I have full hookups. This format is nice. It's causing you to talk about many topics. I enjoy the organic talking, but I am likely a bit strange like most folks. All right. Thank you, Rob, she says. And I answer her and I said, bleach, quarter cup for 15 gallons. That's all I do to clean my tanks. There is, you can buy your own bottle of gray water or black water cleaning. There are all sorts of cleaning agents out there that are commercially available. But that's how I clean it. Quarter cup per 15 gallons. So I've got like a 32 gallon tank, so I have a half a cup of bleach, and I let it, I put it into a full tank and I let it sit there for several hours, and then I start I will run water through the tank, and you really need to be at full hookup, so you need to run all this gray water out into the sewer. So good thinking to be in a full hookup place, and keep running it until you don't smell bleach when stuff comes out of faucets, and then you should be good. I also run my hot water heater when I do it, so I've got water flow through that I make sure I have water flow through that hot water heater, and keeping that water flowing with the bleach in it is getting the inside of the pipes as well. So that's that. Robert Ballard on the bus video, or the shoe video. This gives me the true meaning of walking the walk, in faith in your ability to be kind and make a difference. I think deep down we all hope that we're surrounded by folks like these. Thanks, Rob, for the message, and maybe a little prodding on us to see that we have the power to be kind every day. And we really do, because it can be so easy. We can do small little things, like what this lady did. I mean, I'm gonna bet that she wasn't wearing $300 shoes or something. And I bet she has lots of other shoes at home. And what she gave shoes to a woman that had no shoes. And the price she paid was, I'm going to have to drive the rest of my shift in my socks, which isn't hard. And then, I got to go home and put on another pair of shoes. And I got to drive my car home. Or maybe she takes the bus home. Or maybe she walks home. And at the worst, I got to go buy another pair of shoes. That's how easy that was. And there are even easier ways to be kind. It's just so easy, and it feels really good when you do it. You can be self-centered and greedy for the feeling of feeling good, right? Who doesn't like to feel good? That's, people go out and drink alcohol, and they smoke marijuana, and they, go, skiing and doing all that just to get that feeling of feeling good. Well, you can get it by being kind. When you have genuine kindness flowing out of you, and I mean in genuine, I mean non-transactional kindness, where you do kindness where there's no expectation of a return favor or recognition, in its pure form, an act of kindness that maybe no one but you knows about. It fills your heart with a joy feeling, and even if it lasts for just a couple of moments, it's freaking worth it. So you can be selfish and be a kind, selfish person. The selfish part is, I want to feel good, so I'm going to be kind. All right. Ken okay, so this is the first comment. Ken got the first comment on this new to quartzsite. And let's see if it's still going, because I told you it was at 4,426. So let's reload it and see where we're at now. 4,518. So it's still chugging along. It's easy to see how you accidentally uploaded the wrong video earlier. Then start off with the same scene and look similar. It's good info now, so I'm glad you caught it. So I didn't catch it. What am I talking about? So I forgot about this. I uploaded this video, and I was all proud of it. It had a nice thumbnail, and it was going to attract, and it was getting a lot of views. And forgive me, so who was it? I think it's the comment's still. No, the comment isn't still here, because on that first release, I forgot who it was. I'm so sorry. Someone said, Rob, did you mean to upload that old video with under that thumbnail? And I thought, what are they talking about? And I went and looked, and I had uploaded the wrong video. So I quickly uploaded the right video and deleted the old one. But that's what Ken's referring to. It was also a walking video, so the beginning of the video looked the same, and it was about the same length, and I just had things sorted wrong when I uploaded the file. It doesn't matter how I did it, but anyway, I straightened it out. And on the same video, Ken says, Lava Lindy, and I guess that's a YouTube. I didn't know about Lava Lindy, and it's L period, A period, V period, A period, Lindy. Got her van caught in a wash last year, but got help getting out. And say thank you says, people will help. I got stuck 2 years ago, and a family group yanked me out in 5 minutes. It's good practice. You got some acts of kindness there, don't we? But we also have examples of people that get stuck in these washes, not thinking they can make it through, and they can't make it through. Edie Ron says, your videos are so relaxing. I'm going to have to go to the beginning of your videos and binge watch them while I keep up with your daily videos. Hugs to Dottie and George. Well, thank you, Edie. Or Eddie, or I think it's Edie. Edie says, George is too funny. And why is George taking extreme caution? It's a short from a couple of months ago. Renee, on the the quartzsite video, the big video. One thing I didn't realize is what the desert was going to look like and be like. I was expecting something like you see on TV, and what she means is, sand dunes and fine sand. And that's not what the desert is like at all in quartzsite. It's rocks. Big rocks and little rocks. It's flat, but it's rocks in dirt. You can get to sand if you start digging down, and it's like dark, coarse sand. Renee on the comment video, maybe you could find that toaster at a flea market. That's the stovetop toaster that I have is no longer made anywhere. You can't get them. Rose said on the shoes video, she says good story with a bunch of hearts. And the quartzsite video, Randy says great helpful video. I'm curious because you have so many different electronics going. What and how you manage to power everything. I said I have 600 amp hours of battery and 1240 watts of solar. So that's basically my power plant for what she's asking me that I use when I'm boondocking. Lisa Ross said on the shoe video, what a kind driver. Most of all, she actually saw the homeless woman. Homeless people make people so uncomfortable they come blind or invisible to them. They don't see them. That's so true. White Wolf says on the quartzsite video, snow in the peaks in northern Arizona, time to fly south. You got it, White Wolf. On the road with Tenzin says, love your real videos, no extra hype, just pure simple explanations. I'm working on getting the courage up to drive my minivan conversion from Sacramento, California to quartzsite. I typically don't like to drive more than 3 hours per day. I'm with you on that one. That's a good, so I'm staking out a couple of truck stops along the way. My son is a trucker and knows the route well. Imagine I've traveled to India solo last year, yet heading south to AC was a little unnerving. Good luck. Good luck. You'll be okay. You'll make it. Just take your time. Stick to that 3 hours. Stop at truck stops. Good luck to you, and I hope to see you there. All right. We have, whoops. All right, you're going to have to bear with me because I clicked on the wrong thing, and I am not in the right place for the comments. Excuse me, please give me just a minute. Oh, do something else while I figure this out. All right. Okay, what does a inverter actually do? How do you clean your tanks? Okay, Renee says, maybe we could find that toaster at a flea market. If you do, grab it. They're great. The bus video, Rose says, good story with hearts. I think we already said that, didn't we? Oh, and here's Randy. Sorry, I got a repeat. Poodle Professor says, good points about the washes. Dottie is lucky to have you make her food. I make Poodle's food too. At the end of the video, I show you feeding Dottie and that I make Dottie's food. A bus and a PYR. It's easy to find the washes because that's where the trees are, or vegetation, and that's a good point. It's too bad I didn't mention that, but you'll figure that out quick enough. Makes sense, right? The washes are where the water goes, so you're going to have vegetation around where the water goes. Good in for newbies for sure. I've seen Class A's and C's pulling trailers on the main road, Tyson Wash, dragging through the big washes. Ken McLeod says, I have a bag of four-wheel drive stuff like a tow strap. My truck got stuck and someone came by and said they would pull me out if I had a strap, but I didn't. I used a shovel to get unstuck, but now I have a strap. That's not a bad idea. Go to the auto parts store and ask for a toe strap. I'll be heading out to quartzsite in the next couple of weeks. This is the first time going there, and these videos do help out a lot. That's Chuck DuBois. And he has another comment on it. Also, if you have any suggestions of where to camp when I get out there, that would be very much appreciated. Probably would be getting the long-term parking pass. You know, Chuck, if you're watching this, there's 4 LTVAs. No matter what ticket you buy, you can go to any one of them. But the most popular one is La Posa South. And where to camp is largely dependent on what your preference is. You want to be off by yourself? There's plenty of places to go off by yourself. You want to be with people? There's the I think they call it the Q camp. It's just a gathering of people that don't know each other. They camp together pretty much in the same spot every year, and it's over by where the pavilion is. And at the front desk, you can the front desk or the where you buy the permit, you can ask them for directions to the pavilion. And when you go down there, you'll see people camped and people walking around and ask them, "Where's Q camp?" And they'll point to it and they'll show you. You can go there and you can camp there. You don't have to ask for permission. There's no, there are people that sort of do an informal organizations of camps like Q Camp, and on the other side of the same LTVA is is another camp that is similar in structure. The Spot, it's called, and you can ask around where the Spot is. These are informal gatherings of people, and everyone's welcome because it's informal. Because I say you can't have a formal camp, a formal event. It's not allowed, right? And you can't tell someone where they can camp and where they can't camp. It's not, you can't do it. The rule is as long as you're 15 feet from anybody else, you can camp there. So anyway, or what I say to people is you can just wander around in your rig, because there's rigs and people everywhere, and occasionally stop and roll down your window and ask someone, "Hey, do you have a place that you would recommend that I camp? I'm new here." And here are the responses. You might get, I don't know, I can't help you. You might get them pointing, "Hey, over there, back over there might be good for you." Or what you're looking for is, "Hey man, camp with us, camp right over here, hang out with us." That's what you're looking for. Because if you get that, you got someone that's a bona fide member of the nomad community. So it may take some iterations of stopping and asking people, but you'll be surprised how quickly you find someone that says, "Hey man, camp with us. You're good. You're good." Let's see. ITS raining? It's raining. ITS raining. It's raining. I'm headed to quartzsite in January. It's also my first time going. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm looking for some adventure. I will watch your other videos. Good. There are videos about being nervous going to quartzsite, and how it's okay to be nervous, and how you're going to get through it, and you're going to get over it, and you're going to be not nervous pretty quickly. Chip Miller. I noticed several different campers near within 20 to 40 feet away from a wash bed. Is there any major flooding beyond what would be out of the cut of a wash? And that's what the cut of the wash is. That's where the water historically has come up to. So if you stay a few feet away from that, you're probably safe. If you're camping out there and you hear about a huge storm coming with unprecedented amounts of rain, I'd move. That's something that can happen, though, is that you're inside washes, like you've gone through a wash to get to your camp. Then you have a big rainstorm. You're not going into town probably until the rainstorm finishes and the washes empty out, then you can go into town. But it's possible to be trapped there for a couple days if you have a ton of rain. So it's possible. OZKAZ13 has a comment on back to a few days to the Muppets and Grief positive news video. It's on grief and there's one on empathy. And this comment says, grief knocked me sideways 7 years ago. Laughter brought me back. Adam Hill's Australian comedian puts it best for me about growing up with the Muppets versus today's TV. What's the difference between the Muppets and the Kardashians? He asks. And the answer is the Muppets are real. The Muppets, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah, pretty cool. John Wolf. And John, you're commenting in all caps, which is you're maybe not aware. That's yelling in this world. Doing a comment on anything in all caps is you're yelling. And it sounds like, if I read the comment, you're angry. Please make everyone aware of the increase in LTVA fees going to $600. Please fight the increase. People can't take another kick in the teeth right now. Well, John, I did a video on that. You're not wrong. There's a serious proposal out there to raise the rates from $180 to $600. They haven't raised the rates since 2008. And the big shame on the government here is taking this long to raise the rates. You can go online and you can watch the kind of town hall type meetings that the BLM is having regarding this. And if you listen to what they say, they will convince you they need this desperately to pay the bills. And they acknowledge that it's terrible that this did not happen gradually over the years. If it had, it certainly wouldn't be $600. If they'd done it gradually, it probably would have gone steadily, maybe from 180 up to maybe 300 steadily over the years, and no one would be complaining about it. But we're complaining about it because someone's group incompetence prevented the LTVA from raising rates for 16 years. It'll be 17 years by the time they get a new rate. So I get it. It is a kick in the teeth, but it's not the fault of the people that are now running the BLM. This is a new slate of management people. The government made a mistake. Gee, what a shocker, huh? Wayne Sailor, when in a campground, you need to clean up after your dog. That is plain common sense. And that was on the quartzsite video. And I must have said something about picking up after your dog, which makes sense because I was probably picking up after Dottie. I don't remember the conversation I had, but when in a campground or anywhere, you need to pick up after your dog. Just because you're out in nature doesn't mean it's okay to leave your dog's feces on the ground in the woods or someplace. Why? Because your dog is not native to that area. Your dog's feces can spread disease that isn't natural to that area. You're out in the desert and the coyotes and other critters, they're allowed to poop in the desert. They live there. Your dog is not allowed to poop in the desert and leave it there. That's not a natural thing. So that's why you pick up your dog's feces wherever you go. And that looks like that's the last, unfortunately, that's the last one. I hate to end the video on that topic. Yuck. Okay, so let's end it on a different topic. I'm gonna put an ask out there. if you are thinking about going to quartzsite, or if you're going to quartzsite, especially if you're going to quartzsite and you're going for the first time this year, what would you like to hear from me on another video? Because people really are, the new people are hungry for this content. And I took a wild guess at what people needed to hear, and boy, this one took off. So I'm asking you, if you're one of those people, what can I do to help you feel less nervous about coming out? And what are you concerned about? What would you like me to talk about? And it's now at 5,048 views. So anyway, give me an idea, give me some ideas, and I've got to do one. I have no idea what I'm going to do for a video today. So if you see this and you're on it and you have a great idea, put it out there. Maybe I'll do it today and you'll see it tomorrow. You know what? Any suggestions that you have that you think are in keeping with the kind of videos that I do? Keep in mind, I don't go out and do stuff for the purpose of doing a video. I don't like go to a tourist place to do a video. This channel is about if I'm gonna go someplace for other reasons, I may video it. You see the difference? And I don't generally do videos on things that I don't really have very direct knowledge on or access to good knowledge. So anyway, give me some suggestions. I trust you guys. And this is a long one today. We're at 42 minutes and you've hung in there this long. Thank you. As always, every day, I'm grateful for you, and you make you make the start of my day fun every day. Thank you.